welcome to another episode of Women Incorporate. How are you, my beautiful ladies?
We're feeling positive and ready to conquer the world. Emmy, what about
Yay!
Yeah,
you?
I feel the same. I feel the same.
Yeah, I love it. And I would like to start today's episode with a quote. You know we're fond of quotes. I know you already know, but this time we are fan of quotes of our guests, of ourselves. So and also some that we find in internet, and this one is one of those. It's not about managing your emotions, it's about managing your reaction to your emotions. This was inspired by Young Pueblo. um I would like to know what you think about it because I really loved it. We are all the time, we are emotions, we are emotional people, we feel all the time, we react to every single word that we are receiving, to reading, to hearing, to even the weather makes you feel a lot of
Mhm.
emotions. So what do you think about this quote?
Well, for me, it's kind of, it makes a lot of sense because you cannot stop feeling your emotions. Your emotions are there. You are going to feel it no matter what you do. But how you react to your emotion, that's really hard to work. Let me tell you. Especially, I don't know about you, but if you have a lot of parents that give you the you don't need to cry, or why are you laughing so hard, what people are going to think about that, then you start to avoid your emotions or try not to show them. And then when you become an adult, that's really difficult to change. But it's not something that you cannot learn. You are going to learn. You have that possibility.
That's a really good
That's what
point.
makes it
That's
complete.
a really good point, Emmy. Yeah, talking about like your parents raising you. I was raised to not cry because crying is a sign of weakness.
Yeah.
um or to hide your emotions so people cannot tell what you're thinking. Like, I don't know why, but like back in the days in China when they're like doing the battle, you cannot let people read your emotions or you're going to be the loser. So it was very interesting. But I think that's so important, and that one word that comes to mind when I think about your quote, Ellie, is EQ, emotional intelligence, right? Especially when you're a leader or you're a parent or like you're with your friends. I mean, you can be genuine, but you don't want to, like, so for example, if you're feeling angry or feeling down for whatever reason, like you want to share with them in a different way, like, oh, this is what I'm feeling, but you don't want to project your emotions onto them because it is just not fair. Like, why are you torturing other people? Like, why are you getting angry at other people when you're the one feeling the anger? So I think managing your reactions to your emotions, that makes a lot of sense to me as well. Ellie, what about you?
I always think about this. We are people working with people, laughing with people,
Mm,
enjoying with people. And sometimes we forget that we should respect each other's emotions. And that's why I am the one that tends to keep emotions to myself, because I think all of us, we don't know what the other person is going behind the face you are showing to the world.
mm-hmm.
And sometimes I feel like if I have a lot of emotions here and I'm not trying to express them, I feel the other person is doing the same. And you have a lot of people who are expressing their emotions, and making you feel like sorry, angry, hurt, a lot. You or laugh because you have a lot of emotions around you. But I'm like, if I am feeling down, why I am going to make you feel down? It's like,
Yeah,
for me, it's really hard to open up, even though I am transparent, because you can see my face that I am laughing when I am angry, when I am hungry, when I am sad, when I am whatever emotion I am feeling, you can see it from like one block away. You, I am very transparent to that, but yeah, but I am the one that hides my emotions most of the time.
that is so interesting. So thinking about that, can you share an example of an incident where you had to manage your emotions at work?
Yeah. Well, I had a lot of questions, but you know, I used to work at the contact center. I think I mentioned that before, but in case you are new to to this podcast, I used to work at the call center, at the contact center, where every interaction was very important to us, to metrics, to numbers, to whatever we're doing, to KPIs. And you know what? Sometimes I receive a lot of orders like you have to do this, and that. And it was like really wow. I cannot handle all of this information and give this to my team like this. So what I did was to receive a lot of negative information, a lot of orders, a lot of very bad opinions and ideas and blah blah blah. And I transform all that information and I mask them because I believe in the half full glass and how you share your emotions, how you share and how you communicate with your people so they don't feel the same stress you are receiving. So I was like with a smile, paraphrasing everything I had to say because the goals were the same for every single team. Um, the KPIs were the same. I never hide that, but I delivered all the information in a different way. I was paraphrasing, so I was taking all the negative emotions, all the negative opinions, all the negativity from those directions that I was given. And you know what? I always accomplished the goals I was given, always. And because of what? How you decide to give your the information, how you choose to share the emotions, and your team is also going to be grateful if you give them like that part of the emotions. You take the negativity out, and they are going to give you the best of them.
I think that's the key point there, right? You're the leader and you set the tone, of and emotions of your team. Because imagine if you turn it the other way around and you started being so negative with your team, they're the only feeling that they're going to feeling is like, Jesus Christ, like that KPI seems too far fetched. I cannot do it. And
Yeah,
they're so beaten down, they're so discouraged right now. They're not looking forward to do anything or accomplish
yeah,
anything together. So I think that's a really important point there, Ellie,
yeah.
like good true leadership.
Yeah, and negativity sets people for failure. That's something that's for sure, and that's why I never did something in a negative way. And that's why I paraphrase for me is the best word in the English language. Uh, so you can take all the negativity out, you can take all the bad opinions, you can take out whatever you want, and you can make a negative a message into a positive one,
Hmm.
and that's it. And then you're going to receive what you are looking for.
Can you share an example of the paraphrase? We had to turn something negative into positive. This is
Oh, okay. Give me an idea. Give me something
okay.
like
Okay, Ellie, it looks like your team. So you're in customer success. It looks like your team is not over delivering. Like you need to like way overachieve like
hmm
20%. Right now is at like 100%, but we need more in order to show productiveness and stuff like that. Especially, I understand like right now like you have limited resources, but we have a goal to meet, and then there's more cases that are coming up. I need you to
that's
like
I
do
think
more.
I think even that it's so positive, really, compared to what
Really?
people
Oh,
tell.
I cannot.
Yeah,
So I
I
haven't. I
can I
cannot.
can I can give you an example if you want.
Oh,
Emily,
look at them.
I
I'm a
can
very
give
positive
you.
person. I'm such a positive person too. It's so hard.
But look
Emily, go.
at Emmy's face. She
Yeah,
turned her
she's like
face.
ready
She's
a
so
double
Yeah,
horn.
scary.
what's the negativity on that? Even you tell that I know that you have less resources, but no, that's not a negative example.
I
I
tried.
Yeah,
can I can tell you
Emmy.
one.
I tried. I'm not a bad person.
Eliana, start
Oh,
from
look at that tone.
Eliana. You are nominated. No, it's like Big Brother. You are nominated. No, Eliana. I saw that your results for last month were on 30%, and right now you are on 20%. What happened? What are you not reaching the goal? You have the same team. You have the same resources.
Mhm.
What is happening?
but that's not
I
giving
don't
me a
want your
direction.
excuses. I don't want your excuses.
I'm sorry,
you
Emmy,
need
but
to you
that's not
need
the
to reach out.
direction.
You need to reach out 40%.
Okay, that's
I
the
don't know what
direction.
you are going to do, but you need to reach out the 40% this month.
Okay, thank you, Emmy. I'm going to deliver the news to my team. So we have a different. We have a set up the goal. Hi, Emily. Happy Monday. Hope you are doing great. How are you?
I'm good. It's Monday.
Yeah. But you have to think it was after the weekend, after you enjoyed with your baby, with your family, having a great time, or maybe doing nothing. Because sometimes that's good too.
Yeah, it is.
I hope so. You know, we have the new goals for this month, so we have to work in them. You know what? We have new goals, and I have a plan for it. We Our new goal is 40% instead of 20. And I know you're thinking, oh, but that's twice we already have. But don't worry, I have a plan for you, and I know you're the best at what you do. That's why I'm going to make a progressive plan so we get our goal, and we are going to work together, individually and as a team, so we all together reach to our goal. What do you think about that?
Does that mean? But does it mean that I have to work twice the amount? Like we only have two people in a team, and then if we have to times two the percentages, like what's so hard? That doesn't sound doable. Like we still have the same amount of time. How?
We are going to arrange our tasks because sometimes we are doing a lot, but we are not doing it in the correct way, because sometimes we put more effort into a task that should take less time. So we're
Oh,
going to work smartly,
okay.
and
That
that's the
sounds
idea.
good.
We
Yep.
are going to work, we are going to see which tasks are taking your time, which ones we should put more effort, and I'm going to help you, and I'm going to teach you sometimes, because sometimes it's about teaching and sometimes it's about learning, and that's it. I learn from you every single day, and you can learn from me, so we are nurturing each other.
Ellie, let's get this freaking 40% goal.
Yes, we are going to do it
I
together.
love the way you do it. I think it's so great. She hit so many key points in there. She was being personable. She didn't let any negative emotions translate. The 20% to 40% sounds a little outrageous, but she did a good job. What she did there, I think every organization should just do this, right? You freaking prioritize and you find efficiencies. You do work more productively and efficient. And I think that's the key point to what she's
Yeah.
saying. Like you eliminate anything that is taking too much time, find a way to automate and find right a kind
Yeah,
of like a
but you
formula.
know what, if I say it in that way, it's too technical,
Yep,
and that's why I chose different paraphrasing
that's
about
great.
that. I can tell you about that. I can tell you. I can talk to you about technical words. I can give you like a technical vocabulary. I can do it, but it's not going to be individual. It's not going to be a team player. It's
Yep.
not going to be the same. That's why I gave you the news. I told you the goal, and you gave me like it's twice the job we are currently doing. But I tell you, okay, we have to arrange what you are doing, because sometimes it feels like we are doing extremely a lot of things, but sometimes we are taking the long way instead of the short one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, I like that.
And
You hit it really good.
sometimes a lot of people, they tell you the news with a bad tone, like we need to reach out 40%, and I know that this is going to be hard, and you are putting in the mind of the people that you are talking
I'm
that it's
setting
going
you
to be
on mindset.
hard, that it's difficult, that it's a double.
Yeah.
If the people have that doubt, they are going to ask you like you did, but
Yeah.
it's the double, it's twice as work.
Yeah. No, it really is.
I have
Yeah.
to say something. Emmy, I loved your heart voice, your heart tone. It was like
I
Eliana.
was
Yeah.
expecting, I was
I
expecting your
couldn't not.
questions, and that's what I say. I don't want your excuses. You need to reach out 40%.
Well,
Evie is so funny. Like the
Emmy,
devil wears
that
Prada.
was kind of directions we received every single minute of the day during our work. at the other job. That's why we were telling you you were too soft.
I cannot imagine saying something out like that from my mouth. Like I just feel like I'm burning in hell as I say those words. Like, I'm just like, oh, I'm
No,
burning.
because you're nice. But you can
Yeah,
deliver,
you're so nice.
yeah, you can deliver bad news, but with a different tone. That's why I
Correct.
was telling you. I always took the negative part and make it a reachable goal to my team because, as I told you, if you deliver negativity, you are going to get negativity.
Yep.
And that's
Yep.
why I always change the tone in every song communication, but I never change the goals. I never hide the rules. I never hide what you have to do or what you don't have to do because it's the same for everyone.
Yep.
What the only thing I changed was the way I was sharing the news with my team,
Yep.
and it worked perfectly.
Yep. I
But
love that.
what about you and what about them? Yeah, I want to know about you all.
Yep.
Well, for me, I think the because you know what, I was a supervisor, and I have example of when I didn't manage my emotions. That I think is important to talk about that also.
Hmm.
Um, I received one of the like I give the example to Ellie. I received one of that talks in front of in front of other supervisors, and it took me so for surprise. I was so frustrated because it was about things that I cannot change. It was about a union strike and people joining the strike, and I don't have any power. I don't have any control about that because it's the people right to if they want to do a strike because they are fighting for some cause. You have the right, and if I do something, I will be breaking the law. But for the upper people in my work, they start to accusing me why you have so many people joining the strike like I was encourage them or something. And it was really I was really frustrated because I didn't have any control about that, any control. And I started crying in front of my coworkers, so I wasn't able to manage my emotions in that time because sometimes, well, at least for me, I need to prepare myself for the things that I'm going to face, but a lot of time you are not going to have the time. So you need to, and I think this is part of my issue with my emotions because I didn't have experience managing my emotions when I was a kid. That's what the reason I mentioned at the beginning. If I laugh too hard, if I cry, if I do this, if I do that, I will be judged and I will be, it was so difficult. So as an adult, it's difficult for me. And I need to prepare to different things. And I wasn't prepared for this and caught me by surprise. And it was really awful. And I feel so weak. I feel so stupid. Why I cry in front of other people and everything. It was really difficult for me. But you need to be prepared. Sometimes things are going to happen and you are not going to be prepared. And even if you are not able at that time to manage your emotion, it's okay. You are going to learn from that and you are going to be able to manage it in the future. You don't need uh, to feel so bad and to feel that you're the worst because that happened to me.
Mm.
And so it was a time that I wasn't successful, but I learned from that. I am better working with my emotions right now. If
Mm-hmm.
you feel you need it, go to therapy. That's really important
Yep.
to heal all that childhood wounds that you have, the emotional wounds. And that's one I wasn't able to handle, but the other ones that I was able, for me, I tell you this, but for the people that never listened to me before, I'm really shy. I'm really introverted. I'm really serious. I don't show my emotions on my face. So a lot of time happened to me that people think that I'm upset, that I'm mad, that I'm unapproachable, and everything like that. For me to talk in public and to speak in English, it was so hard. It needs a lot of emotional control from my part because I
Mm.
was given trainings in a second language in English and talking in public. It was all the things that made me nervous in one place, in one time. And I feel so nervous. You have no idea. I feel so terrible. And I started shaking and my voice will shake and it was so difficult. But when the class started, I put a mask and I collect myself, and I the breathing exercises help me a lot. I breathe really deep, and I say, well,
Mm.
I'm ready. I'm ready. I prepare for this. I know I can do it. And with the time, it start becoming more easy for me. Even now, I feel a little bit nervous, but I think I improve a lot. You have no idea how much I improved from the first class until today. So even if you are shy, if you have, I don't know, if your parents were like mine, you are going to have the opportunity to change. But the important thing is to put yourself in places that you need to work on that. Because if you avoid the situation, you are not going to improve. It's going to be so difficult each time. Every time is going to be hard. But if you put in that place where you need to manage your emotion, if you are shy, try to talk to people. If you are afraid to talk on camera, start talking in camera for different situations, and you are going to be able to improve. So that's I wasn't able to control my emotions, and a situation where I were able to control, and how I did it to improve in that part.
I mean, that's a really good job on your part. And I think you brought up a really good point. Like, just do it. You need
Yeah.
to open doors that aren't familiar to you because that's where opportunities lie. If you keep staying under your hole, like you'll be in there protected and safe but comfortable. And you will know what in Malaysia there is this proverb that calls is kata di bawah tempurung. So it means like a frog living in a well. If the frog
Oh,
doesn't jump out, you will never know how beautiful like all the bugs outside there that you can
yeah.
eat, or like the beautiful flowers, the ponds, right, the lily
Yeah.
pads and whatnot. But if you're in that freaking well, you only
Yeah.
see the walls of the well, and you
Yeah.
never know what's
Yeah.
out there.
In Argentina, we call it staying in your comfort zone because it's kind of you're too afraid to move on, and you're always sitting in the same place, never moving forward.
Yep,
It's like
yep.
you are being there and you are not moving anywhere, not laterals, not going forward. It's the same. I think you're losing and depriving yourself to see what's beyond where
Yep.
you are at the moment.
Yep. And it's okay to make mistakes. And I'm going to share an
Yeah.
example where it's very similar to Emmy. I made mistakes, but again, like you need to own your action and identify where the gap is so you can make improvements and then move forward. So I'm going to share not a failure, but an example where I didn't manage my emotions while at work too. So I think in the previous in one of the episodes I spoke about my imposter syndrome being English, my English, I'm not too confident with it. And at this specific workplace, I had a manager that was openly criticizing about my English in front of a lot of people. And I was shocked because that was my first experience. And I think I cried after that at work too. I mean, first of all, I was lucky because I had really good colleagues at that place. But after that, after I cried, I was like, okay, what can I do now? Because he has been criticizing, but I think because at that point, I was like way over here, so that's why my tears of gate of tears like this just flooded open, and I realized like there are two things you can do. One, you stick in that position and continue getting berated by him, or getting belittled, and secondly you speak to someone and your quality, like your performance will show, right? Like, so I was lucky enough because they are confident with my performance and everything. They know I can do stuff, so they actually moved me to a different department. And ever since then my life has never been the same. Our department overachieved. We were the star of the company, and I kept him quiet because I proved myself, right? I'm not trying to prove him wrong, but I'm just proving to myself that I can do it.
Yeah.
I don't want to prove to anyone because this is my life. I just want to prove that no, my English is not bad. Like English is also my second language. But I can do things. I can make things work, and I can directly tie to the revenue and bringing it to the company. So I think that was really the highlight. And actually, after that incident, it opened up a lot of doors of opportunities for me. So I
Yeah.
think it's so important to note like you have to take things into action, and there are always different paths. And Ellie always say this too, right? Like Doctor Strange, like you predict the
I
outcome.
tell you all the time, all the time. You can be Doctor Strange and check your different possibilities, different kind of conversations in your but you have to have like all the possible answers you're going to be given, like this is too negative, this is the worst of the worst, this is the
Yeah,
best of the best, and then you have different possibilities in front of you. But all the same, you have to say, I don't want to keep on being where I am right now, and I have to open one of those doors.
yeah,
You know, the worst you are going to receive is a no, the best is a yes. So that's it. But if
yeah,
you don't try, you're never going to find anything new. You're never going to jump to another pond. You are never going to open another door. And it's that's why I'm telling you all the time, be Doctor Strange. Start asking yourself questions. Where do you want to be? What do you want to do?
yeah,
How much money do you want to earn?
yeah.
How do you want to behave? How do you want to handle things? It's up
Okay,
to
so we
you.
know this is a work in progress. And what do you think it would be a good advice to start managing your emotions, or what do you think is something that can help our listeners to work on their emotions? How to start this journey, because it's a journey.
Hmm.
What do you think, Ellie?
Well, personally, you know, I always see that like the sun is shining for everyone,
Yeah,
even though
I love
sometimes
them.
it's not. But what I do personally, because it took me some time to understand, the first person you have to like is yourself,
Mm.
and then you can work with the rest of the people. Um, and for me, is working with your emotions. If you don't know how to handle them, you can request help. You can ask for professional help. It helps a lot. And also, you have friends, and if you don't have them, we are here for you. We are here to listen to you.
Yeah.
We are here to give you some advice, although it's not going to be a professional advice but personal advice from ourselves. um but never shut up, never say not, no, I don't want to say it because I'm embarrassed, blah blah blah. Never. Somebody's going through the same path you are going through right now, and that's why we are saying this. We want you to know about how to encourage yourself, how to speak up, and work for yourself.
Listen, if women never spoke up, we will still be in freaking kitchens cooking.
Yeah, and I don't know how to
Yeah.
do anything. Sorry.
Well, for me, I think that it's important to feel your emotions. I know that
Yep.
it's something that we talk a lot and is so
Yep.
cliche, but it's really important. And sometimes, if you are like me, we try to avoid feeling the emotions because we want to be collected and serious and perfect, and we don't delegate and a lot of things. So it's important to feel your emotions if you are not feeling well, or if you feel happy, not just focusing on the negative. Try to write, I'm feeling good today, or I'm feeling bad, I'm feeling sad, and try to identify what is the thing that is affecting you, what is making you happy right now, so you can start doing that more. If you are feeling sad, what triggered that, so you can not avoid but work, why is this making me feel sad? And that feel your emotions and go out of the comfort zone. If you are afraid, do things with fear, but do it. If you are afraid, do it with fear.
Yep. I love that.
And
And for
yeah.
me, for me, there's two scenarios. So, for example, if I've had a shitty day in the morning where I've had to chase around and have like a 10-minute argument, debate with my daughter, with my 2 year old, that does impact your mood. And then I have a meeting in 5 minutes. So, at that short window of time, like I'm thinking, what can I do right away to like calm myself down, to process it and things like that? I typically just sit down, take a deep breath, and be thankful of things. Like I'm thankful my daughter is healthy and she can have a good argument with me. So I think it's all about mindset. Um, and sometimes if it doesn't work, I think I'm an open book, and especially it depends, right? If I'm having a meeting with my team members, I tend to be very transparent. So I'll let them know, like, oh, sorry, my day didn't start off well. So, you can sense a little, right? And I'm going to tell that. I share that, and it tends to help because then they can manage their own emotions and expectations when talking to me. Or if I'm talking to leaders, then I just take a pause, right? Let them talk, take a pause until I'm ready to talk. Like, because you don't want to sound like too emotional and like say the wrong thing. So, like, just take some time to yourself and process it. Like, Emmy, like, do whatever it makes you feel best, whether it is taking deep breaths, whether it is writing down, whether it is screaming in the bathroom, whatever it takes to make you feel better.
Yeah, that's
Great
for real.
advice, girls.
Yeah, I love it. And remember, you can always share your comments with us if you want to hear from, if you want to talk to us, you can do it. Please do not feel by yourself ever, because you are not by yourself. We are here for you. You can just reach out to us and we're going to answer you. And if you are doubtful about what to do, because sometimes we are there, we are in the we are, what path are we going to take? So you can ask, and we are going to be answering you and giving you our personal advice, of course, because I think it's very important when you doubt.
Yeah. Or if you just need someone to listen to you and not say anything, this is also the platform, right? Where Three Girls, like, you can speak to us. We're here to listen. We're here to like share our personal advice, our personal journey. So it shows that you're not alone. And this is also an outlet for you to speak up, right? So we're here to support and empower you.
Yes, total.
All
Okay.
right. We're
Thank
at
you.
Yeah.
time. So thank you for
Yeah.
tuning in, and thanks for sharing your journeys, Emmy and Ellie. And I love that impromptu acting show we had to put on where I failed miserably.
Well, if we need to, someone needs to interpret the bad guy, I'm going to be.
Yeah, Ellie's
Yeah,
so
you're going to
funny.
be the bad guy. I love the way you say Eliana.
All
It
right,
was
My
good.
then.
Argentinian voice went up.
All right. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank
Thank you
you.
very much. We love you.
See you.
Bye
Likewise.
bye.
Bye.
I know it's hard to do because our society, especially, I know American society especially, but generally, neoliberal societies, we're so focused on it's my fault and pull yourself up by your bootstraps. And that's not necessarily the case. If like a third of people in your company are being fired, it's not because you didn't pull on your bootstraps enough. It's because there's some kind of systemic problem, and it's okay to be mad about it and to be angry about it, and you don't have to take it on and see it as a sign of personal defeat.
Hmm.
So uh, so I, I think there's a few things, like one is, yeah, really thinking about why you've been let go. Is it really your fault? um, and then potentially seeing it um, as an opportunity.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Resilience is all about your mental, like the perspective, like the mindset, your mindset and
Yeah.
perspective, right? You embrace it, figure out what why the what, and take some time for yourself, right? No need to think too much, and then you turn it into an opportunity that
Yeah.
benefits you.
I always think the same. You have two possibilities. Or you sit and cry, or you take that bad situation and turn it into a new possibility, into a new challenge, and you face it and you deal with it, and then you are going to get the result you need, or at least it's going to start a new path for yourself. So that's about resilience. I think it's what you do with what happened to you, and how you make it work.
Yeah. Yeah, and we're almost at time here, ladies. Yamina, want to give final last words of wisdom?
I want to piggyback off of what Ellie was saying. Something that I heard is any situation that you're in, you can change it, you can leave it, or you can accept it.
Mm,
It could be the meal you're having, it could be the job you're in, the relationship you're
yeah,
in, your house,
yeah,
but that's it. So if you don't like your relationship, you can make an effort. Um, if or if you don't want to make an effort, you can go find somebody else, or you have to enjoy it and appreciate it. And I think for me, anytime I get really mopey or sad or complaining, I'm like, that's it. You have those three options.
Mm.
So which
Yeah.
one which one do you want to pick today?
Yeah.
That's a good one. That's a good
Yeah.
one.
And for me, it's like the same. I think the same as you, Yamina. For me, it's like it's up to you, your mindset. What do you want? Do you want to keep on crying? And you can cry because that's acceptable. We are human beings, but after you cry, think you want to keep on crying or you want to do something else. And
Mm-hmm.
that's very important.
Mm-hmm. All right, that wraps up our episode today. Yamina, thank you so much again for speaking, for taking the time.
So much
Yeah.
for having me. This was so much fun. Thank you, ladies.
I'm
Yeah,
glad.
no, thank you, Yamina. I told you before this, but I admire you and I'm really happy to know you now a little bit more every single interaction we have. So thank you very much for coming and meeting us.
Yep,
It's great learning more about both of you as well. Thanks so much for being so open and vulnerable.
Uh,
absolutely. All right, thank you.
Thank you, ladies. Thank you very
Bye.
much. Bye
Yep.
Bye.
bye.